What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is a little bit of a channel update. No, this is not clickbait. I kind of wanted to get some stuff off my chest and kind of separate rumors from fact and, fact from fiction. And just kind of talk about the origins of Rocky Mountain Gaming. I left San Andreas Finest, on completely good terms, as far as I'm aware anyway. Around, what was it, October 18th, I want to say? I can go back and check actually here. Yeah, October 21st, yeah, and pretty much everything I said back then still remains true. It was, kind of a decision that was made out of, the activity requirements was a big thing. I think I'd, received another, one of my many freaking Civ activity strikes, around the time I left, and that was kind of just a sign for me that I can't do it all. I can't do it all and still make my time. And part of that was just because I wanted to, I really went full-blown try-hard mode with Fire because I loved it and I wanted to get really involved with it. And, so I would put a lot more time into Fire than I would a lot of other things. And I just trying to juggle everything and get it all to balance out just didn't really work. I couldn't find a way to feel like I was spending adequate time with everybody in, the different departments. That felt like I was giving, each department, if you will, enough attention to, feel like, yeah, I'm actually being a productive member of this department, whether it's generating roleplay or just generally hanging out with my friends. And I think that's kind of one of the things I'm beginning to learn, especially the older I get. I've been doing this for like about 3-4 years now, and I'm beginning to learn that, you can't overthink it. At the end of the day, it's a game. And, yeah, you can't overthink it, and you kind of just have to get on and have fun, whatever that means for you. But see, I was overanalyzing and trying to do everything and trying to be active in everything, and I just got worn out very, very quickly. And, between that and I kind of felt a little disparaged. Just... I kind of felt like an outsider, didn't really feel like I fit in. Having left, I now realize that a lot of that wasn't the case because, I'm really more of an outsider in other places now than I ever was in SAF. But yeah, it's pretty much how Rocky Mountain Gaming got started. I wanted to build upon the foundations that I got from SAF. A lot of people might see or that as copycat. To me, I saw it as homage. A lot of people saw it as copycat. Everybody's open to their own interpretation. A lot of it's just, it's FiveM. You can't, there's only so many ways you can reword, the, 10 commandments of roleplay of, don't fail RP, don't metagame, so forth and so on, and I guess people didn't care for the way we laid out different things. But I said all that to say, that's kind of why we started it. We wanted to, make some improvements. Like, we wanted to give everybody Civ, we wanted that to be a thing, we want to have people to have easy access to whatever style or, area of roleplay they wanted to. One of the things we were big on was anybody really, for the most part, could do anything as long as they asked for permission. And that was the big thing we wanted. And then, of course, the relaxed activity requirements, which we ended up having to get a little stricter on than I would have liked from, midway to now. But, we still tried to be relaxed about it, and LOAs were, not hard to get. We truly tried to live up to that standard of real life comes first. But that being said, I never had beef with anybody from SAF, and anybody who's, spreading that around is just rumors. I kind of I wish everyone the best, and I've had a few awesome people reach out to me and keep in touch, and I appreciate that. But there are also some who didn't. But you know, it is what it is. Um, but all that being said, I appreciate all of it, and I loved my time so much in SF that it was kind of an inspiration to me with Rocky Mountain Gaming. But sadly, Rocky Mountain Gaming is going to be probably, well, okay, let me rephrase that. Rocky Mountain Gaming's FiveM division or area, however you want to word it, look at it, is going to be no more probably after January 30th, I want to say. Just because simply we do not have the finances to keep it going. And on top of not having the finances and the, financial capability, because I can't keep it going alone, and Nate sure as heck can't keep it going alone, and Nate's got, stuff to take care of. Excuse me one moment. Nate can't keep it going alone. And yeah, so basically, we're just gonna have to close down for financial reasons. I mean, and the other side of when we were kind of exploring this, me and Nate, and yeah, we kind of just talked about it. I was like, it's kind of pointless because, immigration versus emigration, if you will, like people coming in versus people going out, like exiting, entering. It's just not working these days. And I will say this. Had the whole thing with... I don't want to look like I'm trying to crap on a little girl's YouTube channel. That's not by any means what I'm asking for. I still wholeheartedly support Jones as a YouTuber and as a female YouTuber, but I don't support her necessarily as a friend, but that's a whole other issue. But I said that to say if Jones was still here, we might actually be able to survive, but since Jones decided to go and get herself banned, which was not my decision, I actually tried to recuse myself as much as I could, from the situation. In fact, I say as much as I could. It's more like I wasn't allowed. Soldado would not allow me to be involved in that process in any fashion, shape, or form. And I really didn't want to be involved in it, honestly. But after she violated the community rules, the two other CMs looked into it and said, yeah, there's an obvious violation here that we would kick anybody else for. So they voted to remove her, and, 2-1 if I even were to contest it. And so her actions, caused her to get kicked, and it's not her fault. Do I have feelings about it on a personal level as just what you do and don't do to a friend? Of course I do. But that aside, she made her choice and she got the due penalty of her error for it. And a lot of people followed her out the door. There was a lot of conspiracy bull and just people trying to slice it and make it something it wasn't. The whole thing was grounded in, the whole complaint or issue was grounded in a live stream that was open to the public. So anybody who had a problem with my actions could go and look at it for themselves. And most people in the community went over and looked at the video and was like, yeah, nothing's here. I don't get what all the problem is. But there were like 4 or 5 people that were like, yeah, no. Like, you're wrong and we're leaving, and, more power to them. They have every right to leave. I'm not gonna hold them there. But that being said, it put a dent in our member base, going from, when you already have 20 people and then you go from 20 to like 15 like that. I don't know if those are the exact numbers, I don't really remember, but it was a shock, it was a blow to the community, and honestly, I think I can safely say, between Jones's actions that got her, I don't want to say banned, because she was welcome back if she wanted to reapply in 30 days. She never did, though. Between Joan's actions and everybody leaving or whatever, I think Joan successfully killed the community she, helped to found. A lot of RMG was kind of us brainstorming together and a lot of collaboration with the two of us. And yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it, but I'm kind of at that point in my life where I can't be bothered. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Rocky Mountain Gaming. Rocky Mountain Gaming is going to stay in the form of a gaming community. Like, people can hang out and play Among Us and Phasmophobia and all sorts of different things, and they can hop on, and maybe 5PD will be a thing in the future. Or, what am I thinking of? Oh, what I want to do with Rocky Mountain Gaming is, with Nate's blessing, is I want to basically make it into kind of a cinematic thing, like making short films and getting people interested in that, because not many people are interested in that lately and following that lately, and I want to kind of revive that in FiveM. I was really inspired watching Farkin's Christmas special, and honestly, a lot of what influences the way I edit my videos and the cinematic aspect of my videos, just as a director of sorts, is heavily inspired by Farkin, and I owe a lot of that to her. And of course, One Ocean 10 was a very big mentor and influence in that field. While I kind of got burnt out very quickly of the, Charlotte Rowe storyline, just because I felt like we had done everything we could do with it, and it kind of, I was planning on stepping away from it anyway. Being able to leaving SAF was kind of just icing on the cake with that, or not icing on the cake, but just an out for that. But yeah, it's something that I wish we had talked about, and I kind of regret not making my feelings known a little bit more clearer. I don't know what happened with a lot of people in our DMs, because naturally my old account got hacked, and I don't know if anybody really sought out my new account. I mean, the Discord is there. The link to the Discord hasn't changed, so I really don't know what people are thinking, and that's why I'm not going to make assumptions one way or the other. But that being said, I just, it wasn't, that storyline wasn't for me, and I was kind of burnt out on it, and so yeah, I'm rambling again. Getting back on track, though. Getting back on track. There's really, no point in dumping money into a dead community as far as FiveM is concerned, so we're gonna kind of shift gears and shift focus to more Let's Play style games as far as Rocky Mountain is concerned. As far as my storylines, this really means nothing. I'm probably going to take a bit of a break from FiveM for a little while. I don't know where the next chapter of FiveM is going to be for me, if there even is going to be a next chapter. When we started RMG, I kind of told myself, like, okay, this is it. I'm going to, like, if RMG flops, I'm done with FiveM. And the reason I was taking that approach is, once you leave the community and you go and start your own, a lot of people make the assumption that you're trying to insult them in some way. So I was expecting to get blacklisted in some way. I was expecting to be blacklisted from SAF. I don't know if I am or I'm not, or if there are going to be hard feelings or not if I were to try to go back to SAF, but I don't think there will be, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about the whole thing with SAF, is like, and just lay all my cards on the table. Like, I have no beef with anybody. Naturally, not everybody is going to be your friend, and there is at least one person I can categorically say that I, didn't really get along with, but you're not going to get along with everybody in life, and that's, kind of just a fact of life. But that's not going to be that wouldn't be enough to deter me from going back, and there's still a lot of people I care about, and people who amazingly have reached out to me and supported me even after leaving the community, which means so much to me. You know, people like Kenyon and Loki, and I'm sure I'm probably forgetting a whole host of people, Civic and others, Manning, etc. But, oh, and Bailey. But, yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. I don't know, I might end up back in SAF, I might end up in LCRP, or I might end up doing jack all with FiveM. I don't really know at this point in time. What I do know is, this means nothing for my storylines. Because the way me and Jones treated RMG was kind of as a separate storyline or alternative universe. Kind of like, what, did we say like 6 or 4? Did we say like 4 years in the future from the events that happened in our SAF videos? So, RMG is almost like a spin-off series of our SAF videos, and, you know, so with that, really, I can very easily put a nice cap or bookend on those storylines and start them fresh, how I wish to see them played out. Or not choose not to pursue them at all, and I really don't want to. You're gonna see my characters, whether that's in short films or that's in SAF or OCRP or somewhere else, but I'm not gonna stop making FiveM content, but I'm really just burnt out. Since we're kind of doing a rambly, all cards on the table type of video anyway, I didn't talk about it much, because I didn't want the clicks for it, because I didn't want it to seem like that I was trying to profit off of it again, of the whole beef and everything, but, a while back, I want to say, what, December of last year? I did some soul searching, and, well, you know, naturally the things I posted screenshots of and everything, I don't really have context on some of them. A couple of them were hearsay or, you know, word of mouth, but, the whole thing with Fire Kitten, we squashed that beef around December of last year, I want to say. Maybe the year before that? I don't know. The past 4 are kind of a blur for me. I've had, between my mother's cancer diagnosis and everything else, and just general world events, past 4 years is kind of a blur for me. But yeah, no, so we squashed that beef, and all was well that ended well with that, and, I kind of had to do some soul searching, and I don't think there was a greater lesson in what Rachel was trying to teach me than what I experienced in RMG, and especially, and I figured it out before, because somebody had given me word of mouth that somehow, some way, I don't know directly from me, I think more so from the comments of others, but in fear that I even played a part in it, people allegedly were making death threats towards Fire Kitten, and as you guys well know, I don't stand for that. I don't condone that type of stuff. That's just way out of hand and unnecessary for a freaking video game. It's absolutely bonkers and deplorable to me. And on a humanity level, I wanted to reach out and say, like, hey, look, this is getting way out of hand. This has gone farther than... If I played any part, I don't think I played any part, because my thing was always just trying to put out facts, but if, you know, I played any part in that whole controversy, I was like, I wanted her to know that I was sorry, and, you know, that we really, you know, we really got off on the wrong foot, and I was very young and probably very dumb in comparison. Because, you know, again, all cards on the table, found myself doing a lot of the same things I'd yell at her for, and not necessarily more so the political things I accuse her of, but just the general, demeanor of just being the angry, bossy. I got burnt out from dealing with a lot of people's BS, after so long of telling somebody, hey, don't do this, or hey, this type of roleplay is not cool, you need to cut back on that, or what have you, and the person just keeps doing it, keeps doing it. It wears you down to the point that every little thing you assume is going to be that. And just generally, staffing wears you down, and then the constant, because just trying to do your job, you're constantly villainized, and I can go on and on, but yeah, it was crap for my mental health. I mean, naturally, I've always had thick skin. It didn't get to me. It doesn't get to me immediately. It's a build up over time. It's a ticking time bomb for me emotionally before it freaking blows up. Whether that be in anger or just freaking general depression, but, I've kind of always taken the approach to life of sticks and stones. So, have I ever, threatened to jump out a window over it? God, no. But after so long of somebody telling you you're freaking morally bankrupt, yeah, that crap S with you after so long, and just the responsibility, it's not something I'm going to be rushing into anytime soon. The only way I would rush into a staff position is, in any community after this, is if it was asked of me, or if I saw an actual need for it. If there's no actual need for it, I'm not gonna rush into that. I don't have to be the hero. If I do join another FiveM community, I just want to hang out and have a good time. I don't really care what anybody does. I don't care about any politics or drama. I just want to have fun. But yeah, that's about where things are. So Rocky Mountain Gaming isn't going anywhere, but it's just not going to be an open to the public roleplay community like it has been. And it's probably going to focus more on other games now. So, its legacy will live on. But, the FiveM roleplay aspect is just not going to work. But anyhow, I want to thank you all very much for watching, sitting around listening to me ramble for about, what are we going on, 23 minutes now? If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more short films and stuff like that, leave a like, leave a comment. And yeah, thank you for supporting RMG along the way and not dipping the minute I not immediately leaving or unsubscribing the minute that I left SAF, and sticking around for the content more than the community name. It means so much to me on a personal level. And yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.